Good afternoon, everybody. Today, it is December the 6th, and as everyone else in the whole United States is dealing with, we, even in the deep south, are dealing with very cold temperatures. We are in the 40s now, and its temperature is steadily dropping. So I'm going to make a big pot of beef vegetable soup. Now, a lot of these ingredients, things I'm going to say, you can switch this up. You can use different things. This is just how I do because A, I want to make it spread further, feed more people, but also have some to eat on a couple of days and have some to put up. So I got a pack of stew meat. I got this on sale, which is why I decided to make soup because I got it on sale. I got a bag of the vegetable beef soup mix. You don't have to have this. You can use beef broth, things like that. I like this because I do like the broth it makes along with the tomato sauce, and it just makes a good gravy. That's mainly why I use this, but again, you don't have to use it. I'm going to put some dentellini pasta in it. I'm going to use a whole head of cabbage. Yes, cabbage, to me, when you make a soup, you need cabbage. It helps it go further. Also, it adds its own distinct flavor. Got some sauce. I got some diced tomatoes. I'm going to add some potatoes towards the end. You can use a couple of things of tomato sauce. I'm going to add a couple of cans along with the tomato sauce of V8. I'm going to use 2 cans of mixed vegetables. Of course, we got our salt, pepper, garlic, crazy mixed up salts, and some Italian seasoning. I'm also going to put in my seasoning blend, which has onions, bell peppers, celery, yeah, I think that's all that one has in it. Anyway, so I'm going to get all this put together, and I will go to the next step. Oh, I got a big pot. You just put oil in the bottom, just enough to cover it, because you're going to want to brown the meat with your onion seasoning. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to brown your meat with your onion blend. I usually buy some celery, but I didn't have any, so I'm just going to use the celery that's in my seasoning blend. And as far as salt and pepper, like I always tell you, just to start off, you just kind of sprinkle it over the top, each of your seasonings. You're going to taste this as you go, so of course you may need to add more of this, that, or the other, but this is just kind of to get it started. I always season my meat while it's cooking. That way you always have a good flavor to it. You know, you don't have just kind of bland to start out with. You want your meat to be seasoned. That just makes it all taste better. Again, this is just showing you, just go and just always just sprinkle the seasoning over the top. We're going to get this browned up so it makes kind of a good gravy to start with, and we're going to start adding ingredients. Okay, so I pulled this off the fire so you could see, because it was rolling pretty hard. But as you can see, the meat's brown, and it did start to make a little bit of a brown gravy. The vegetables are clear, so I'm going to start adding in all my other ingredients. The only ingredient I'm not going to add is I'm not going to add my dentellini pasta. I'm not going to add the soup mix, because a soup mix is just dehydrated vegetables along with a beef broth. So that's going to go in the last, my potatoes. That's going to go in probably the last 30 minutes. I'll kind of throw the rest of that stuff in there. Of course, I'm going to have to put a whole lot of water in here. I'm just kind of like putting these other ingredients in here first. I got my cabbage cut up, and I've got it washed. Rinsed, of course. And then I'm going to put that in here as well. And then I'm going to fill the pot up with water so that everything has time to cook. The cabbage takes probably, I don't know, about 45 minutes to get real soft, and by then the meat will be real tender. Again, I try to make things very frugally, so I use stuff I either have in my cabinet, or if I have to buy it, I buy it when it's on sale. The meat was on sale $4.99 a pound, or I have used roast, even if it's a cheap cut of meat. If it's on sale, you can use that as your stew meat. The cabbage was on sale, like 48 cents a pound. They had these mixed vegetables for 88 cents a container. I had V8 juice already. I had sauce already. I had dentellini pasta, and then I got this. I think this cost $2.50. So I'm going to wind up with a really big. This pot's going to be full. It's a big pot. It's going to be full to the top with soup. So we'll have it today, tomorrow, and then I'll have plenty to put up in the freezer in smaller containers for later. So hold on just a minute. Okay, so I've got everything added to the pot now, again, except my potatoes, my soup mix, and the noodles. So I'm going to let I put in here to fill this pot with water. I had to use 10 cups of water. Again, I wanted to make this a full pot. You can see it does have some color to it, but it's not, it tastes pretty watery right this minute. So that's, again, why I use this soup mix, because it has a good broth to it, so it kind of helps your soup get more, I don't know, more gravy to it, more texture. And again, towards the end, I'm going to dice some of these potatoes, and I'm going to put this and this, all of this at the same time. And then I will add my Italian seasoning towards the end after I taste everything. Okay, so this has been boiling for 40 minutes, and as you can see, the cabbage is a lot softer. It's still got a little bit texture to it. I'm not a big cabbage fan either, so if you're like, oh, I don't like cabbage. But when you put it in soup, I promise it helps the soup go further, so your soup's not just watery, but it also tastes good after when it's cooked in with all the stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put my potatoes. I'm going to put my vegetable soup mix. Again, you don't have to use this. I do because it helps the gravy. It makes it more hearty, I guess you could say. It doesn't add a whole lot more as far as, you know, because it has some freeze-dried vegetables and rice and stuff, but nothing real big. And then I'm going to add my Dettolini pasta. I would say probably a cup. After this cooks down again, we're going to go about 15 minutes. I'm going to taste it, see what I need to add. But you'll see when I come back, how the soup is more soupy. Well, I mean less watery and more soup. Hold on. Okay, so I did wind up adding 2 more cups of water, as well as 1 more small can of V8 juice. It just didn't have enough, I don't know, tomatoey flavor for me. But as you can see, with every scoop, you're going to get a lot of vegetables and meat and juice. So I'm going to scoop me up some here. And this is also, I don't know if you've ever heard of the cabbage soup diet. This is kind of a take on that because it's, you know, it uses a whole head of cabbage. But mainly, it's, you know, you've got also the meat in here. You got potatoes, carrots, all kinds of other stuff. So as you can see, there is a nice bowl of soup. Still have a full pot. So I'm going to bring some over to my mom and dad, and then I'm going to probably have plenty left over for dinner tonight as well as tomorrow. So if y'all have any questions, put a comment below and I'll answer you. Enjoy, y'all.